Hi, this is Joe from Nutrien Water. Today, we're going to be going over the ins and outs of Hunter gear drive sprinklers. In order to adjust one of these sprinklers, you're going to need to access the 3 adjustment ports on top. No matter which gear drive you're using, they'll all have these 3 keyholes. Now, some of the sprinklers will come pre-installed with nozzles, while others won't. Regardless, chances are we're going to need to change the nozzle out at some point. So to do that, the first thing you're going to need is one of these Hunter adjustment wrench keys. This tool has both an Allen key side and a plastic key side. To begin with, we're going to find this keyhole on the top of the gear drive and drop the plastic key end into it. Once there, rotate the key 90 degrees and lift up. This exposes the barrel of the sprinkler so we can access the nozzle port. The nozzle port can also be exposed by unscrewing the barrel from the gear drive casing. Now that the nozzle port is exposed, we can find the nozzle we want to use and put it in the sprinkler. No matter what type of nozzle we're using, they're all going to have this channel on them. When fitting the nozzle, we need to make sure that this channel is facing upright. Once the nozzle is in place, we just need to fix it there. To do this, we're going to take the other end of our Hunter key and find the top of our nozzle screw. If your gear drive has a rubber top, you'll need to break through this arrow symbol to access the screw. Now, turn the key clockwise to wind the screw into place, and you should see it come down through that channel in the nozzle. This is an important step because if the screw isn't wound down, the nozzle will blow out once the water's turned on. Now that we've got our nozzle sorted, we're going to want to set our arc adjustment. To begin with, we can check our current range of motion on the gear drive by rotating the turret to its left and right stops. Now we know what it's set to, we can begin our adjustments. To start with, we need to rotate the turret to its right hand stop. This right edge is always going to be fixed. Adjusting the arc will only change the degree of the left edge. Now for this step, we're going to use the plastic key from our tool again. We'll need to find the socket with the plus and minus symbols on it. If your gear drive has a rubber top, you want to break through the seal and then rotate the tool slowly until you feel it drop into place. Now, looking at the plus and minus arrows will direct us to rotate clockwise to increase the arc and anti-clockwise to reduce the arc. After making a few rotations, I like to recheck our range of motion by rotating our turret to its left and right stops again. From here, we can make some micro adjustments and check back with our arc until we're happy with how it's set. The final adjustment for these gear drives that we haven't touched on yet is the distance adjustment. The primary way to set the distance of the gear drive is to select the appropriate nozzle for the distance that we're trying to achieve. Each nozzle on the rack is labelled with a number. These numbers correspond to the distance and flow requirements that each nozzle will use. The full details for each nozzle distance and flow requirement can be found online or in store at your local Nutrien Water. But, as a general rule, the larger the number on the nozzle, the further the distance we'll be throwing. Once the correct nozzle is installed, we'll be able to do finer adjustments. These are done through the same screw that we used to fix the nozzle in place. If we take the hex head of our adjustment wrench again, we can wind in the nozzle adjustment screw further. This will bring down the screw into the path of the water. Using this adjustment screw will allow us to reduce the radius by up to 25%. Putting together all this information, we should be able to successfully adjust any sprinkler within Hunter's gear drive range.